Hey guys, this is Dardamos with Dardamos Dominions. Welcome back. I'm back with the Yomi player, Grippa. Say hi, Grippa.
Yellow Yomi here.
Missourian, our Arco player, is here. Hello, Missourian.
Hello.
Our underwater undead player, RCK, is here with us. Hi, RCK.
Hey.
We have some messages for this turn. Marverni,
I don't see
Brand.
anything on the stream.
Oh, did I drop my stream?
Yes.
Oh yeah, totally did. Okay, so I'll continue talking like nothing's wrong. Okay, so Yomi, guess who accidentally went into Marverni's cap circle? We missed this last turn. Was this purposeful or accidental?
Accidental. I did not realize he was that close.
Do you end up negotiating it back, or how does that work?
Well, now I'm pissed that I did because he gave me the same province he promised Pan. That son of a... that son of a bitch. Joe Brandon, you sneaky mother effer.
They can figure that one out, hopefully with war. That's amazing. Grippa, read the whole thing. I also...
I figured I just read the rest, and basically, Joe Brandon, you're dead to me.
He's like, the Crystal Amazon province is mine. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I sold this man my own cap circle, and this is how he repaid me?
Oh my goodness. I feel so bad. He's on Eurotype as well. Otherwise, I would try to track him down, because at this point, it would be wonderful to talk to him.
I'm yelling at him in Discord right now. Hold
on. That's absolutely hilarious. Okay. So Nosy has also given a message. It's rather short. Maz, can you read this for me?
I may have missed sending a message that I agreed with Arco that he can have 43 and 50, and he won't contest me for the Forest and 65. The Indies in 43 and 50 are rather difficult. One is a large bar province, the other has elephants. I could very well end up going to war with Arco first, just so that I can claim those forests he has. So it would be nice if he can clear those Indies for me.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, any notes, anything on that, Maz?
I don't want to give anything away, so at this point, I don't have anything to add.
Okay. Okay, Ubar has advised that he'd be moving into 118. So they have negotiated a bump, which is really interesting to me. RCK, have you ever negotiated a bump?
Yes, this has actually happened in the same game where I explained that someone sold me a province and then went to war with me. So I was playing with, I don't remember their name, but it's a lot of O's and L's.
But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's him. But okay, so he was playing the Ba, I was playing Vanheim, and he was talking to one of the underwater nations, and he agreed with them a nap 3 and gave them a coast. Well, we were talking and stuff like that, and we didn't want any underwater nations on our coastline. And I think we had a nap at the time. So since I had sailing, the same turn that hit the, I don't know if it was Atlantis or another nation, maybe it was Lay. They were taking that coastal province. I was attacking him in that one province that he owned too. So we would bump into each other, even though he sold it for a nap 3. And then on top of that, I think we bumped in another province. Now that was unrelated, but it gave more proof that we were at war, because that's what the information that we sold them. So it just kind of worked out.
That's really interesting. I've purposely bumped people before. In one of my Pan videos, it's in there. We knew that the pretender was moving into the province, and then we accidentally moved in there at the same time and wiped out his pretender. But this seems to be as though Pangea went to Ubar and said, let's rumble, let's fight. Grippa, have you ever negotiated where you knew that the other person was going to go there and just be like, whoever wins, wins?
Yes. Yes, I have. It has gone well for me every single time, and then the subsequent war did not.
What do you mean subsequent war?
People really, like, you go into this and you're both basically like, look, I'm going to take it. And they're like, no, you're not. I'm going to take it. You're like, try me. Then you're going to bump, and you're still going to be pissed off at each other and probably go to war.
Maz, if you negotiated a bump, would you have hard feelings?
I've never actually done that, but I'm a player that just does not have hard feelings. My opinion is, if it's a legal move, it's your move to make. Go ahead and make it, and I'm fine with whatever it is. And you could break a nap with me, and I might not consider it a good move, but I'm not going to get bent out of shape over it.
I feel like we should rephrase this as, this isn't negotiating a nap. You're not negotiating anything. This is I'm going to do it. And they're like, are you going to do it? I'm doing it. We're going to fight. Go ahead. I'm going to fight. It's a game of chicken where there's no way out aside from fighting. And then you'll be like, I wasn't bluffing. Neither was I. And then they're pissed off at each other. It's not a negotiation.
I mean, this is Nosy and Kirby, though. I could hear Nosy just being like, hey, dude, we're going to bump here. If you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. Just whatever happens, happens. Nosy, I could actually see pulling a diplomatic move like this. I remember one of my most drama-filled games started over something like this. The guy messaged me, said, I'm going here, I get it. And I said, no, I'm going there, but if you want to bump over it, we can bump, and just whoever wins, that's cool. And I spent the next hour with this guy telling me, because he had messaged me first, that he deserved the province. And like it was the most insane thing I had ever had in a Dominions game. I messaged you first. That means I deserve. No, we can just bump. That's fine. And I ended up having to literally tell him, I'm done talking to you because I'm cool with the bump. And I don't even remember if we bumped or not. But yeah, it was. It's really interesting. I'm very envious of you, Maz, because the emotion really does get high in some of these games. I'm curious.
It's hard to imagine Kirby and Nosy getting like that. That's for sure.
And that's why I like playing with Nosy, because he's got, the players like you and Nosy are very fun to play with, in my opinion.
Yeah, I try to find like-minded people like that. Unfortunately, at least for me, I don't have a lot of horror stories. The guys I've ended up playing with so far, they've been guys like Kirby and Nosy, and I think only one time did I feel like, I was playing, what is the Microsoft one called? The console game. Help me out here.
Flight Simulator.
No. That's the console. The PlayStation. Anyways, I felt like I was in, the live chat on that thing with the 14-year-old. That happened exactly once.
Oh, are you talking like Call of Duty where they're cursing at each other the whole time and
something
talking
like
about
that,
each other's
right?
mothers? Yeah, okay, I got you.
I was doing that. And I'm thinking, what am I doing here? But that was one time. Every other time, it's been guys like Kirby and Nosy, and it's just been great. So, yeah. I can't complain. I
wish Fish was here, because that was one of the things I really didn't like about Dominions, is that I in my opinion, I am one of those guys that the Diplo never goes well. And that's one of the reasons why I would get in, I do something where I'd hook up with somebody like Grippa. Grippa, you played a game with me, and I'd just be like, Grippa, you do all of the Diplo. And I did some of the Diplo, but I tried to lean more on Grippa or on Vish. Or on Caro was also another one I did, and he did some of the Diplo in that one too. So, Grippa, do you remember, were you our diplomatic front?
Yes, and I will tell you how many messages I never told you about of people so mad that we took Lemuria from them. They're like, we want those death gems, and I'm like, we have them. I'm like, they're ours. I'll give you some random province, and then I never gave them the province.
I mean, like, that's the thing is I would get, I'm such a bad diplomatic player, dude. I am such a bad diplomatic player. And I feel bad for the people because I don't know what it is that makes me a bad diplomatic person. But yeah, it's just I think that there are just players out there that take the game a little too seriously, and I'm definitely one of those. And that's why I like playing co-op. That's why I like playing with Grippa. And why Grippa won that game on his own completely.
It's my half a victory. I have 1.5 victories. And that's the 0.5.
Dude, you did really well with that because you were the diplomatic face and you kept us out of bad wars. Now it's interesting. He says after he goes into this, he says after they agreed to the bump, which we talked about how that might cause hard feelings. He's like, he also expressed. So after they talked about bumping, they go in and they're like they're talking about Machaka and different players. RCK, can you read from a good player told me?
Oh God, where's that at?
The
A good
fourth
player
line.
told me recently that hostile neighbors require more aggression, not less, and I feel like my experiences support that claim. People are going to want to kill you anyway. You may as well get big before they try.
Okay, so what is your idea on that statement, RCK?
That's kind of how I feel whenever I play any undead nation, because it really doesn't matter how big you get; they're going to try to kill you anyway. So you might as well try to get as much as you can. At the same time, kind of goes with the conversation you just had. I'm a really bad Diplo player too. Like you might think you're bad, but I might be worse. Because like if I don't know you, I'm probably not going to say much at all to you. I'll be like, "You want a nat 3," and that'll be it. Now, if it's like Grippa or Mazarin or somebody, I might talk to you a bit more. At the same time, like I'm a bit hot headed, and I know that in my games, and I will let my emotions get the best of me because I was just playing in a game recently, Mazarin, which I'm still in it. I'm still alive, and a player which I did have a nap 3 with, and we were kind of allied pretty well, where we killed another player and we were doing some other stuff. He started accusing me of wanting. I thought he said I was going to break my nap with him and attack him. I said, "Okay, we done now." I sent him a whole bunch of messages. Someone's like, "Oh, I was trying to go after other people." I was like, "No, we at war now, all right?" I said, "Nap's over. We done." And then Mazarin's like, "Well, good luck, buddy." And then like a couple turns later, I'm essentially dead. But that was beside the point.
I love the diplomatic realm. I remember I was telling you about the game where we negotiated the bump, and I was explaining that to my wife one day about the drama that went on and the emotions that were flaring up. And like, I mean, I swear she got a popcorn and just started listening to me like it was like one of her Korean dramas that she watches. And she's like, "This is the greatest thing in the world. You guys are all like," like it was not a very flattering what is it the like word the like sentences she could depiction she did not compare us to anything flattering to say the least. But yeah, so I kind of like what Nosy was saying here though. If you're gonna be a scary target, you might as well be a big strong scary target rather than trying to look less threatening. I am not at war with Jake. Thank you, Van. That was actually really important. Okay. Hey, I think okay. So this is he talked about the three blood slaves. He said it's good news, but he didn't say why. I'm not seeing anything. Okay, so he said he's gonna prepare an attack against Marverny. We have our first person that's kind of said that they're going to go after Marverny. And this is kind of interesting because Schumann, going back to what Pangea said, Schumann said he was worried because a lot of players are scared of Helheim. And I'm kind of curious now that the game's over, I can ask you guys, how scared are you of Helheim as a nation? Grippa, what is your thoughts on Helheim as a nation?
They are some damned dirty elves, is what I think of them.
Do you think that they're anywhat threatening in a whole?
If you don't have any elf counters by turn 12 and Helheim comes knocking at your door, you're in for a rough time.
Maz, what do you think about Helheim specifically as a nation?
I think they're not any more or less scary than other elf nations, and I think the better you get, the less of a problem elves become for you. Generally, they're always annoying, but they lose that intimidation factor when you first encounter them. Where oh my gosh, these things are up. Just ban them from any game I'm in. Helheim is a little bit more scary in the sense that they also have the air-death combination. But they're not the first nation that sort of sends me quaking in my boots. And amongst the nations in this game, I mean, they were just, they weren't really any more scary than any other nation. It was all heavy early game hitters in this particular game. So
what is the air death, dude?
Didn't weigh me down overly much.
Can you go into the air death idea? What is
air death? So air death, you've got Winds of Death, which is a pretty powerful spell. It's regarded as off by some. And it's just a very, very difficult to counter morale play.
You're talking Wailing Winds, right?
Wailing Winds, I mean Wailing Winds. That's really the main one.
Winds of
and then Wind of Death later on is a factor as well. But that's later game. So
that's a battlefield wipe. RCK, have you seen a good Helheim player playing at all?
I have seen various Helheims, but I feel like Schumann, he did a really good job. He was probably the best Helheim player I've seen play it. Other than that, was I worried about his nation? Not particularly, because I knew kind of at that point, I knew what his bless was. I knew he had magic weapons. I wasn't surprised. But I wasn't any more worried about him than I was Pangea or Vanheim, which I didn't see Vanheim at this time, but I kind of had an idea of where they were because I knew the other nations that were around me and kind of expected where they were. Just because I feel like for early age, Vanheim's Einheirs, they're just a lot more killy than the Hellherdings.
Yeah, it's one thing is that he was talking about his late game more than anything else. And I think that he was stressing on the Winds of Death and the Wailing Winds. Hey, Grippa, we got a message from you.
When you find a cave, yay! Ends in someone else's cap circle. Oh no. Yeah. So, oops.
Wait, hold on. Is this the one that we were talking about earlier? Okay,
that's the one. No, that's the one that's southwest of that. That was a Marverni's cap circle.
You got into Marverni's cap circle?
Yeah, I was like, hello. And then I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, God.
Further south. There it is. That cave province right there, up north of that.
Oh, yeah, so he took the province. Okay, so you negotiated to give this back this turn.
Yes, that's what we messaged. And then he negotiated to give me the same province he gave to Van. Bitch.
That's hilarious, dude. Okay, Ubar comes in. Oh, is that the end of it?
I give short messages.
Okay, so I'd go to war over it. Ubar wasn't being... Wait, hold on. So you backed off because you were scared of Ubar.
Ubar was attempting to get Pan to attack me with him and was going to rush me. That's why I was between attacking Ubar and Marverni. I found out by Pan about the Ubar thing, and so I decided to nap with Marverni in order to focus on the guy from Aladdin.
Iago.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I don't know. Every time I think of Ubar, I think of Aladdin. That's what I do.
Okay. Okay, so Ubar, let's see if he's actually... I have not seen... What's funny is, Grippa, you're saying this, and I see nothing whatsoever about attacking Yomi anywhere here. He does talk about going after Machaka. And then you Maz, you got a nap with Ubar then, right?
Yes. Yep. At this point, we do.
Okay, and then he's expecting a bump at 118, so that he's going from the other side and saying they're gonna have a bump. Okay, so they're gonna be fighting over what message, or where did they say they're gonna hit? He said 118, which is wait, what? Oh, okay, so he must have... Okay, we got it. So the bump happened. Okay, so Pan came in, and let's actually see what happened in this province. Okay, so...
Can you see what Ubar has? What's on the left there? Jin and what else?
These are just Ubarian archers.
Okay.
So, they drop and just get massacred. How is it that he's able to massacre these so quickly when other troops are not mass? How is it they're able to just massacre the Ubarian warriors?
It's very simple. High attack, magic weapons, 3 attacks. There's no chance.
Does he have spirit? Yeah, he has spirit sight as well.
He has spirit sight as well.
And what are the magic scales here?
That's a good question.
Not that that's even going to matter, but
Drain 1.
Drain 1, yeah. I mean, they're basically militia at this point against centaurs.
Yeah, he got utterly demolished here. This was not even kind of a fight. Wow. Yeah, it was really bad. Okay, RCK, what do you got?
Napa Pan 3. I have secured 2 coastal locations. I have no worries being attacked, and I'm putting up forts on them. I've heard of an early war against Yomi by Ubar and Helheim.
Okay, so Yomi, Uvar had said nothing in his messages about this. I mean, I'm to assume that he's just trying to throw flack up?
Probably.
Why? What's your thoughts on this, RCK? Because it's really weird that he's not messaging the Omniscience player, which would tell nobody, but when he's talking to the other players, he's saying Yomi, 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 but to us, he's saying, I wish that he was here, but what's your thoughts? Why is he doing this?
I believe at this time I also heard from another player that it was going to be Helheim and somebody else. I'm like, I don't know who to trust anymore. But I was like, okay, I at least know I feel like Helheim was going to go to war, and I felt like they were going to be an aggressor anyway early on in the game. So I was considering attacking them, but at the same time, I knew that they had a decent bliss, and I was like, I don't know right now.
I feel like we're hitting a lot of the more diplomatic strains on this. Matt, do you ever throw flack up things that are not entirely true?
I try not to be. I try to be a reliable coalition partner, a reliable diplomatic partner, whatever the diplomatic relationship is. One thing I'll add to, one thing that I've enjoyed about these Omniscience series, yours and Lucid's, it's just highlighted how hard it is to get reliable, accurate information about the game state. I mean, when you look at the tournament game that Lucid cast, you had some of the best players in there, and people were tripping over their feet left and right, just trying to figure out what an accurate assessment of the game state was, let alone, actually act properly on that information. I think I might have said last game, I think people underestimate the value of coalitions, and I think they underestimate how difficult they are to make happen. I think we're starting to see that play out here. Not just make happen, but get into the right coalition and make it work is what I mean to say.
I'm really looking forward because I think that we're going to start seeing some wars breaking out here, and it will be really interesting to see to actually see the wars begin.
Yeah.
I don't see any other bumps other than that one. Is there anything else? Oh.
But just one other thing I want to add. It'll be interesting to see if, with the benefit of hindsight.
Watch that battle. It's funny.
Yeah.
What did you do here? It's hold 5 and then attack. No.
I don't think I scripted him at all. One of them was crippled, so he caught up to it before it left the battlefield.
What the? No.
That was sad.
That was the most tragic thing I've ever seen in Dominions. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the Shark Try wins again.
Yeah.
I guess we know who wins in that independent fight. Okay. Oh wow, this is actually a really good fight. Maz, were you planning on these few losses?
Yeah, I wasn't really worried. I mean, this just highlights the strength of Wind Riders. 2 elephants isn't going to matter.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And what did I
chop
do?
them up.
Yeah, I mean, hold and attack rear, right? There's nothing to it.
Okay. That's really, I mean, it's still really good. But yeah. Okay, 17 Jin warriors versus this wolf tribe. Is this overkill, Maz?
17 against Wolf Tribe. Honestly, I'm not sure. Probably not, because I think they would get harassed down otherwise.
These do look like kind of scarier troops against the wolf tribe.
Yeah, and this highlights.
What's it?
I was going to say, this kind of highlights what we've been talking about with the Jin, where if you bring a critical mass to deal with a number of troops in the independent squads, you're fine. And if you're 1 or 2 Jin warriors short, you're going to get annihilated.
Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
I was just saying, it's a similar theme with any troop that is defense heavy, right?
It was a really stressful expand when I was trying to play with them, because I got like 30 provinces and then I utterly failed, where after 5 turns I had set 2 provinces and I just like, I give up on this one. And so I'd restart. It was like trying to test this out was incredibly finicky.
Yep.
Okay, so looks like Therados, you are on the march. Now, RCK, can you go over how many hoplites did you get compared? Because this seems like you've got a ton of hoplites here.
Yeah, at that point, I believe I had my E4s. They were calling specters or calling ghosts or whatever it's called now. Check what province that is, and if that's my prophet or not.
Okay, that is, wait, no, not that one. That's the sadder one. Okay, this one right here. Okay, so it's in the middle here.
Now, check the battle and see if that was my prophet. I can't remember if it was or not.
Yep, it's your E3.
Okay, what I'm going for after that is the throne, I believe, since I moved them out.
You're going to be going after this group right here. Yeah, it's only Triton. Wait, that's not... Those aren't Shark Tribe.
No, they're just Tritons.
But these are Shark Tribe, and these are not. I'm so confused. They look the same, don't they?
Yeah, they look exactly the same.
Okay, so you're planning on going from here and then hitting this. And what's interesting is it doesn't look like a very scary province. There are water mages, so you do have your possibility of getting wellies. But this is the 3-point throne here, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works next turn. Let me see if I can find where we were in the turn. Right there. Okay. No, actually we're further ahead. Okay, Helheim face planted with some against some elephants here with some mercs. What exactly do you think that happened, and do you think that this will be the same exact results, Kripa?
Hard to tell. It depends on how well those elephants do, I think, because I don't see the slingers doing much.
So he doesn't have these guys on fire. That's interesting. Okay, so it looks like what happened is the elephants didn't get caught up on the elephants. They didn't attack the elephants. It's really interesting because I think that if I was going to script this, I would script it for attack largest. Now, Matt, do you know the scripting? Do you attack largest? If you did attack cavalry, would it attack the war elephants?
I'm not sure about cavalry because I know attack largest will target elephants. So if that's what I'm wanting to do, that's how I'll script it.
Okay. Would you have targeted the elephants or the slingers behind them?
With these guys, I probably would have tried to break the morale of the elephants with the arrows. Depends on how many I have. If I'm going to get a good surround, if the arrows don't work, if the elephants make it to the back line, then I'll probably just try and target them with arrow fire.
What's interesting is he won in the replay. Once again, kind of showing that things can kind of go other ways. But it looks like the results were very similar. Probably what happened is the Raiders broke first, and then the Commanders were able to stay around. I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, just kind of interesting that it kind of went a different way. Yeah, it looks like they killed 11 of these dudes. So yeah, wasn't the worst attack in the world. Okay. How scary are the Pegasus Riders to you, Grippa?
A little bit. They can fly in before you're finished buffing, which would hurt quite a bit.
I don't think any Pegasus Riders fly. No, they just fire.
I don't see them. I'm not lucky enough to get them enough to know how well they do.
The tricky thing with them is the mind burn. I think this has come up before. Sometimes they have access to it, sometimes they don't.
Please tell me you got this, Crystal Heart. That would make my year.
I don't remember.
Okay, so I'm guessing, watch this again and see how many pearls he starts with. So he starts with 3 pearls, and he does the mind burn 3 times on you. How scary is mind burn to a Dione?
It would hurt. Wouldn't
Is
be
it?
great.
Do you think
he
it
doesn't
would
have
kill
that much HP?
Did they just cast blessing on themselves?
I think these guys are sacred, so they would get morale +1 for it.
Still odd to see that though.
Wait, never mind. It would be really interesting if they got whatever Dominions.
Oh god, that'd be scary.
That would be hilarious. Okay, well, yeah, pretty straightforward. Oh, hold on. Did I? I'm off. Okay, massacre. Oh, okay, that's right. That's the bump we watched.
I don't think it was. That was not the bump.
A different bump.
This is the.
Oh, it is. Sorry, I thought that was PD. Never mind.
And then, oh my goodness, this looks scary, but it's not. This looks like a just a random group of troops. I'm really kind of amazed he put his elephants on front. Do elephants take lance charge as well?
Who are you asking?
I guess, Matt, do you know this?
I would say it depends on the number of elephants. With that number of elephants, they'll probably be fine.
Okay. RCK, have you done any elephant expands at all?
No, but I have been playing in the game lately, and I saw it fail miserably, so I don't plan on it.
Yeah. Let me just tell you, dude, that's how my war elephant expands go, and he lost 3 war elephants, which is 300 gold worth of troops. This would be like losing 30 infantry to a province, which is, I mean, that's painful. Even, I mean, it's only 9 heavy cavalry too. I wonder if that was a scripting error on his part. Okay.
Now, was this the same army that killed the cavemen?
I'm sorry, was this the same army that did what, sorry?
The Yomi army, the next battle.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yes.
Is that the same army that killed those cavemen?
Yes. I will not stop.
Grippy, you're looking great, and I can't wait for this to fail here.
Let's see how badly I should have lost this one.
We're about to find out.
Oh, it does look like you're actually going to win again. Oh. You actually won. Okay, so the replay wasn't completely
I am the greatest.
That's hilarious, dude. Okay, well, I mean, like, Grippa, like, amazing, dude. This is amazing how well this opening group has gone. I'm absolutely amazed. But sadly, all good things must come to an end. And I don't think all the replays in the world and all the replay bugs in the world will save this expansion party from this. Now, did you negotiate this province with him, or was this a surprise?
Nope. Surprise. Elves.
I miss it. I thought there were no more bumps. And then, oh my goodness.
Of course, I get attacked by,
Grippa, you're supposed to put 6 PD.
Luck. Yo, me, I don't have money.
6 PD stops this. Well, now you have less money. Oh my goodness, it's a 43 income province, dude. Well, nice thing is that he can come by and now
I skimped money to pay for a fort construction.
Did you go to Vanheim and talk to him about this accidental bump?
Yeah, I was like, bruh, you hurt? And he's like, yeah, too bad. I was like, okay.
What's great is, even if he would have retreated, Marverni technically cut off your retreat. That's hilarious. Okay. Well, sad news for the heroes of expansion. I do believe that expansion party was probably one of the best Yomi expansion parties ever, and I am incredibly sad to have seen it go.
He survived all of the indies just to die to elves. A fitting end.
And I think that is going to be where we end for this episode. I am going to keep this up, and we're going to briefly kind of just look at the map and the current. I want to go from each nation in the next episode. But for now, thank you for joining, Grippa. I appreciate joining. I really did enjoy your Onishugo expand.
Thank you. It's sad to see it go.
Maz, I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to be doing. Your pretender comes on around turn 12, correct?
Correct.
So you've only got to last a couple more turns until he comes online. RCK, thank you very much for joining. This was absolutely tragic and probably one of the best fights I've seen in Dominions by far. So thanks for joining.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, guys, I will see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.